Hello, everyone. I am Sally Peterson, the founder of Global Citizen Life, where we help 5 and 6-figure entrepreneurs diversify their life by gaining citizenships and residencies, reduce their taxes to 0 or single digits, all while helping them invest in other countries, offshore corporations, and simply just helping them create a lifestyle that they love and enjoy living in a country where they choose to live. And on today's show, we have Sergei Kostenko, I hope I said that correctly, joining us from Mexico. And he's going to share his experience of moving to Mexico, which initially wasn't even on his radar. He wasn't even thinking about going there. He's now been there for 6 years. His family has grown, his business has grown. So keep listening to find out exactly what he's doing and how his experience has brought him to Mexico. Welcome to today's podcast. Today we have Sergei with us, and he is currently living in Mexico. So thank you very much for joining us today and spending some of your time with us. Just to start out, just if you could give some maybe background about yourself, where you moved from, what brought you to Mexico, and how that all happened for you.
Yeah, hello to everybody. My name is Sergei Kostenko. I moved to Mexico about 6 years ago with my family, with my wife and my kids. We're looking for the place, where we can live for a long time. It will be warmer than in Russia because I'm originally from Russia, from Saint Petersburg. There are not so much sun. There are a lot of clouds, rain, snow, and so on. And we try to find something good. And a few years ago, we want to move our kids to environment where he can learn English. And we looking for different countries. We compare United States, Australia, Canada, and so on. And we found that in the world, one good place, there is one good place, it's Cancun. We never heard about Cancun, and when we learned it, we understood that it's like one of the best resorts in the world, with the temperature like about 28, 30 degrees all the year. It's always summer. And we thought that it will be the best place for us. And 6 years ago,
it seemed that we had a bit of a connection. So you were saying about 6 years ago, and then my screen froze. So 6 years ago, you decided to move to Cancun. Is that correct?
Yes. And my wife waited for the baby, one more kid, and we thought that it will be a good opportunity to make a childbirth abroad, try to understand what will be the medicine in Mexico and Cancun. We found good hospitals with different certifications. And we spoke with different people. They said that it's really good medicine because in Mexico, medical tourism is really popular. And a lot of people from United States, from Canada, from Great Britain come to Mexico, especially for the medicine. And when we came to Cancun, we understood that we really love this place. We really love people. And we bought a little house for us. And after the childbirth, we came back to Russia to solve some issues with the paperwork. And in 2-3 months, we moved back to Cancun, and we're still here about 6 years. Now we already were born here in Cancun. Now we're a family of 5 people, and we have 10 different passports, 5 Russian and 5 Mexican passports. And it's a really, really good opportunity because the Mexican passport allows to visit more than 150 countries without the visa. It's Japan, Canada, all the Schengen zone, Brazil, and so on. A lot of different countries. And when your kid knows three different languages, because here in Cancun we have a lot of kindergartens and schools where you can learn Spanish and English. 50% of your study is Spanish in a day, and other part is English. And when your kid knows three languages, Russian, Spanish, and English, have two passports, Russian and English, it's like you're open all the doors in the world for him. And I think it's a really good present for him for the future, for his whole life.
Definitely. More languages, more passports. It really gives a lot more opportunity as well. So that's fantastic. It's interesting how Cancun wasn't, you didn't, as you said, you didn't even know where it was or anything about it. And it just kind of came up and it's where you're at now. And of course, very different from Russia. Thinking weather-wise, Canada would have been more similar. I'm from Canada and winter is very cold. I hate the cold personally. So that's part of the reason why I left Canada too. I prefer the sun and warm weather. So when I first left, I went to Costa Rica. So close to Mexico, a little further south. That's great. And so obviously you talked a little bit about healthcare and medical tourism. And I'm aware that medical tourism is quite big in Mexico and that their healthcare system is good. So now that you've got your citizenship, sorry. And so do they have a public healthcare system that you're part of, or are you part of the private healthcare, or both?
No, it's absolutely enough for us to have a health system, not private, like from government, because when you have a residence here or citizenship, you got a CURP. CURP, it's a special number for everybody who have a residence or who is citizen here. And with this CURP number, you can get in the general hospital all the medicine. Yeah, the doctors in the general hospital usually are the same like in private hospitals, because part of their work they're working in private hospitals and other part in the general hospital, and the equipment in the hospital is the modern and it's like absolutely the same. Of course you can spend more time in the line when you are waiting for the service. It's not so big problem.
Okay, great. And I'm assuming that there's quite a large expat community there in Cancun. Are there a lot of foreigners that live there from all over, or do you find there's more from one country over another country?
Mostly, I think there are a lot of from United States people. The second place, I think that it's from Canada and Great Britain. And other part, it's from all the world, because Cancun, it's one of the most popular resorts in the world, as I already said, and it's too close to United States. It's like maybe 1.5 or 2 hours by the plane, and it's cheaper, it's warmer, it's really nice, and that's why a lot of people prefer to, for example, buy real estate, some apartments or house. Part that, for example, Mexico never closed their border from April 2019, never, and that was a really good opportunity for everybody with the coronavirus to move here, and they didn't need to present PCR test or certificate or vaccination card.
Great. Yeah, it was very interesting how different countries had various rules and some quite strict. And that's another reason why I've started doing what I'm doing now. I mean, I left Canada 11 years ago. And so for 11 years, I've lived in this is my third country now, Costa Rica, Spain, and I'm now in Montenegro. But during that, knowing that having multiple dual citizenship, multiple citizenships, or even just at least multiple residencies gives people the freedom that they could travel, so they wouldn't be stuck in one country during a lockdown. So that's one of the many reasons why it's very important. So that's great. And how did you find the process for you to get your citizenship? Kind of what was some of the frustrating stuff, maybe some things that might have been easier than you thought? I'm not sure if there might be any. And then kind of the length of the process from start to finish to getting that passport.
It was easy in one way and hard in other. You can get like automatically residence permanent. And after 2 years with this green card with residence permanent, you can, if you stay here for 1.5 years inside Mexico and you have 180 days for the traveling, you can go outside, 2 years in total. You can prepare all the documents for the naturalization. Naturalization is the process when you can get a Mexican citizenship, the second citizenship. And for example, when I started this process 1 year before, it was really, really easy because it was just 100 questions in Spanish, of course, and it was a little interview, and all the answers was in internet. Yeah, and you can just learn all these answers in internet, and it was enough. But when I started this process, they changed the system. The number of the questions became about 1,000.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, 10 times more. And they added two different parts. You need to read one text, and the opposite side of the paper there was questions, and you need to answer these questions. Then you need to take a picture and describe it, to write 3 different sentences what you see on this picture. And as I heard now, the like government song, it's como se dice, the state anthem.
Oh
In,
yes.
in Spanish, it's himno. Himno. Yeah, you need to learn some of this song, and they can ask you. You have just half an hour. For I spent maybe 8 or 9 minutes for all, because
Okay.
I had two different teachers
Mm-hmm.
who helped me. One was Russian and the second was local. I got the examples of the questions with the answers, and I tried to understand on the line all the days, all the information, and I spent like maybe 3 or 4 weeks for preparing. It was really fast because usually we told to the people that they need like half an hour for preparation, because it's really stressful, it's really nervous. A lot of questions about culture, politics, musicians, about Mayas, Aztecas, Almecas, and so on, about everything. And of
Okay.
course, you need to learn it. The good thing that the answers, you have a question and you have 4 answers. It's like
Okay.
multiply. And you
Mm-hmm.
need just to check one answer, and you can get 2 errors. And if it's not more, you can pass the exam.
Okay. So only 2 wrong. So it's not very many,
Yeah, yeah.
but oh, great. And so did you have some struggles with cultural differences? Because life in Russia compared to life in Mexico, I think are, I don't want to say completely opposite, but probably quite different.
Here we have like a mañana. Mañana it means that it can be tomorrow, it can be in 1 week, or never. In the beginning, it's a little bit difficult for you because it's different mentality, different country, different people. And when you have an agreement with somebody, for example, you're waiting for repair your scene or repair something, electricity, and the person who can help you say, okay, no problem, tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'll be in time, but already it's 11:30, 12. You try to connect him with WhatsApp, he doesn't answer, and you don't understand what's happened. And in the evening, he said, "Oh, sorry, I have some problems." And you think, why you can't tell me in advance, or why you don't answer me? And after some time, after 1, 2 years, then you understand that it's absolutely normal here. You just need to try to find right people whom you can get more like strong agreement. And after some time, you understand where you can buy clothes, where you can buy food, some products with whom you can connect or with whom not. It's a normal process.
Right. Excellent. And now you've been there for quite some time. So did you, when you got there, did you start working with a company and got a job, or did you start your own business? What was your process from saying, okay, we're going to Mexico, this is our place, and then what did you do?
When I was in Saint Petersburg, in the beginning, before traveling, before big trip to Cancun to Mexico, we felt that it will be nice to provide the service of the organization and support childbirth here in Mexico. And we decided that we need to try to move through this process by ourselves, from whole the process from the beginning till the end, from the tourist till the citizen of Mexico. And then we started to provide it for everybody, for Russians, for Americans, Canadians, and so on. For Nigerians, we have a lot of foreign clients here in Cancun, in Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and so on. And when we came to Cancun, in a few months, we started to help other people because we already know almost all the processes. And we now provide this service with organization and support of childbirth, with the hospitals, doctors, with the rent cars, rent apartments, with all the paperwork after, with the Mexican passport for the baby, with the birth certificate for the baby, with the residence permits for the parents, and then after in 2 years with the preparation to the exam for the naturalization.
Excellent. And so Mexico is one of the countries where if a child is born in Mexico, they get automatic citizenship being born there.
Yes, it's a great opportunity, and it's too fast to make all the documents for the whole the family, for the parents, for the sisters and brothers of the baby, if they're under 18, for the grandparents, and for example, all the kids from the family and all the grandparents, if they are 60 plus years old, they can get citizenship automatically without any exam.
Wow. Okay. So the Mexico is very welcoming and having the extended family come. So that's nice. And I'm sure though, by the time they're kind of 60 or over, they're either retiring or close to retirement. So Mexico enjoys them coming and spending their retirement years in Mexico and enjoying the weather.
Yeah, but of course you need to have a legal status here and your residence, and you need to follow some instructions. Because, for example, after the childbirth is the shortest way from the tourist to the citizen. But, for example, if you want to make a working visa or something like this, you need to wait like maybe 5 years, 4 years with the residence temporary, 1 year with the residence permanent, and only after you can get your citizenship. Depends by the way which you choose.
Right. Excellent. And is there maybe one or two things that you know now that you wished you would have known before you moved there and decided to stay there?
About the climate, it's in summer it's really hot because some of the people moved from Cancun to other places from the June to until end of the August for 3 months, June, July, and August. Yeah, it can be about 35, 40 degrees, and yeah, but you have a air condition at home, you have air conditioning in your car, in any shops, and so on. It's absolutely, for us, it's absolutely normal because I really love when it's hot, and we like it because used to live more than 30 years in Saint Petersburg in Russia, and it was enough for me. And yeah, I have a pleasure to stay here all the time. And the second point is mañana. It's the specific of the mentality of the people here, and you sometimes it's really hard to understand it, and you try to struggle with it, but you just need to relax and keep calm and just get pleasure with all this what is surrounding you.
So patience is key.
Yeah,
Patience
yeah.
and adjusting. And I think it's interesting because a lot of people who come from, say, Canada, the United States, Australia, countries where we're used to go, 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 things get done now, you make a call, the person shows up when they say they're supposed to, unless, something happens, but 90% of the time, and they're on time. And part of the reason why sometimes we move is because we want more of a relaxed, laid back lifestyle. And once we get there, it's hard for us to adjust because we're still so used to everything being done so quickly and on time. Because I remember when I moved to Costa Rica, at first I thought, oh, it's great. It's laid back. It's not so hectic. We have more time. But then I found myself getting frustrated sometimes because I'm like, what do you mean tomorrow, like mañana. And it was frustrating. So it can be hard to find that we want that more laid back lifestyle, but we have to adjust to it and get used to it over time. And then it's okay because then we're used to it. So what would be one piece of advice that you would give somebody who's considering moving abroad? Could be perhaps Mexico or whatever place that might be ideal for them, because everybody's perfect place is different. But they're a little bit nervous. They're not sure, like maybe they have concerns with having kids or expat communities, not knowing anybody. But just because I find, especially now, more and more people are moving internationally. So what kind of advice would you give to somebody who wants to? They're a little bit on the fence, but they're a little bit nervous about taking that plunge.
Never be afraid, just act. And where there is fear, there is growth. That's all.
Very good. Excellent. And so if some of our listeners are wanting to move to Mexico, maybe have a birth in Mexico, where can they find you to get some more information or use your services that you have?
I have profiles in all of the social networks, in Instagram, in Facebook, in Vkontakte, it's Russian network, in YouTube, my little channel, video channel, and of course, different websites. One website for the real estate, other for the immigration. The third one is it's for the childbirth and so on. And I hope we can connect all the links on this video and they can find me. If they want to find me faster, they just need to put in English Sergei Kostenko, Seregi, and they can find all the information about me.
Perfect. And we'll add those links with the show notes and everything below to make it easier for everyone to connect. So I just want to say thank you very much for your time and joining us today and sharing your experience and your story with your move to Mexico. And if our listeners need to get in touch with you, hopefully they will, and you can help them transition and maybe move abroad and enjoy life in Mexico.
Thank you so much, Sally. It was a big pleasure for me to be with you today, and thanks for everybody. Bye bye.